What's up? It's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and the United States just lost to Canada 2-0. And, I don't even think I'd call this a poor performance because it was just standard. This was the same level that we played against El Salvador. It's been the same level that we've been playing at throughout the entire tournament. We just haven't been playing well, and it finally came back to haunt us. I mean, there were some bad decisions from the manager's side. We did get out coached again, but I don't think that's it. Because I'm looking at this team, and as far as we've come, we've still got so far to go. And it was not a good performance at all. By player side, a tactical side, I think the effort's there. But honestly, that's more concerning than anything, because if it was an effort issue, at least there'd be an easy fix. But, okay, going into positives first, we do have to talk about there were some good performances with this game. Sergiño Dest was defending very well, and he defended very well against El Salvador as well. He was doing a great job on Tajon Buchanan, though to be fair to Tajon Buchanan, he was doing a great job on Dest when Dest was attacking, but that defensive ability, that was a huge concern coming into this game, and Buchanan was a huge concern of mine because I thought of him running at Sergiño Dest. That was something I was worried about, but he did a great job. So Sergiño Dest, good performance there, should be mentioned, and Buchanan, good job as well. He did well defensively. It wasn't like he pocketed him or anything, just good performance. I think Brenden Aaronson was our best attacker. He could have been better, but he was making a lot of moves happen. He was taking on players, getting in good positions, and it just didn't happen for him today, but we'll get to it later, but I think he did enough to earn a start against Honduras. Tyler Adams had a very good game, really strong performance defensively, doing great work, breaking down counterattacks. Really good job by Tyler Adams again today. On the ball, you're starting to realize that he's a bit more of a destroyer than a complete midfielder, but he's still by far our most technical six, by far our best six. Defensively, with our center backs, I think Miles Robinson and Chris Richards had a very good game. It sucks that Chris Richards went down. It looked like his ankle. I wouldn't expect him to be back for Honduras, but I don't think he'll be out for the March window, which I'm not a doctor or anything, but that's just a guess. Very good performance by Richards today. He was looking really nice on the ball, and really, he was one of our best players on the field, and a really solid performance out of Chris Richards, and he should be starting every game. He should have been starting every game since 2019, but, now's a good time as well. Miles, I feel like he had a very good game as well. He was obviously at fault for the goal. Laren kind of did turn him. He slipped, lost his footing, but if this was John Brooks, we'd be hearing about it for the next 6 months or something, just throwing that out there. But aside from that, Robinson was defending pretty well. When we went down to 10 men late in the game, you can't really fault that on him. And I feel like it was a solid game despite the one mistake. And by far, best player was Weston McKennie. Again, he was very good. He played like a man on the mission, taking on players, making really good passes, combining in the final third. Man, he was looking really good, and I think he's the best American player, just period. He's the best American player. I think he solidified that. I'm not even talking about form. He's just a great player, and we need to be building around him. For Christian Pulisic, it's an interesting thing to talk about, because if this was a different player, I'd probably describe his performance as lively. He was winning free kicks. He was getting in dangerous positions. I wouldn't call this bad or anything, but by the standards that we set for Christian Pulisic, it wasn't good. Even when he switched to a 10, which, hallelujah, we can play a 4-2-3-1. He wasn't getting on the ball. It was almost like a passive performance, and I wonder if his poor form at Chelsea is affecting his confidence, and he doesn't want to get on the ball as much as he should. But it wasn't a great performance. Maybe our expectations are too high, but for what I expect out of Christian Pulisic, it wasn't good enough, and I think I'd start Tim Way and Brenden Aaronson the next game, which I didn't think I'd say going into this, but we have to go with what we do best. And Pulisic is really good coming off the bench, and oh god, we will get into subs later. But yeah, for our poor performance out of the starters, Yunus Musah, I don't feel like he was up to his standards today. He was giving the ball away far too much, leading to Canada breakaways, and he really wasn't affecting the game as much as Weston McKennie. Maybe it wasn't a poor performance, but again, by his standards, I didn't really think he was good. Anthony Robinson, or Jedi Robinson, or today, Stormtrooper Robinson, because none of his crosses hit the mark, he wasn't that good at all. He needs competition badly, because I don't feel like he's the best fit for this team. He's the best player by far, but for how we play, where his crossing isn't good enough, his defending is pretty solid. His athleticism makes up for a lot at this level. I'm a bit worried for once we get to higher oppositions. But for now, he's definitely our starter. But I really want to see Jonathan Gomez and Kevin Paredes give him a run because the lack of competition, I feel like, is really hurting him. And he's one of the guys who I feel like if he was pushed a lot more in training and he knew his spot was on the line, he'd be doing a lot better. Up top, Gyasi, Zardes. Listen, I root for everybody when they put on this jersey. When they're wearing this, I want them to succeed. Zardes should not be in that position again. He's not good enough as a player. He doesn't have a single goal at this stage of World Cup qualifying throughout 2 World Cup qualifying cycles now, and I don't know if you count the own goal maybe, but I don't think he's going to get one, and just not good enough as a player. Just period. He needs to be moved on. Matt Turner, poor performance today. His flaws really showed today. Poor goal kick led to the first goal, and his distribution really is a bit of an issue. There's a reason why I think Zach Steffen is the player who should be playing when he's in form, and man, Matt Turner, hopefully he gets a lot of this stuff figured out at Arsenal. The MLS didn't push him hard enough, which sucks to say, but players get better when they leave that league, is what it is. But, yeah, that's it for the starters. For the subs, Kellyn Acosta, I almost don't want to criticize him because he shouldn't have been played. He was going to come on before Tyler Adams got hurt. So you're free to criticize this substitution. When you're down, you don't sub in a player who offers nothing offensively. What did he do? 1 bad pass to Reggie Cannon. That's all he did offensively today. And defensively, he got owned by Junior Hoylett, just throwing that out there. So he didn't even do his job. So yeah, poor performance by Kellyn Acosta today. And this is the reason why if we go down to a 23-man team, which we will have to if we qualify for the World Cup, I wouldn't bring him because he has so much limitations that despite him being good defensively, he has an athleticism. He's a leader, I guess, but he's not good enough on the ball, and when he plays, he's a liability. For other subs, Jordan Morris, okay, can we stop pretending he's good? He's not at the level of, on our wing players, he's not at the level of Pulisic, Reyna, Weah, Aaronson, Hoppy, Giacchini, maybe Giacchini, but he's not a top 5 player. Conrad. Now, I put Giacchini above him, but, listen, I get it's a good story or whatever, but how many games did he start for Seattle? Did he have 1 start? I think if he did, it was a dead rubber game. He shouldn't have been put in this position, but listen, he was good for this team back in, 2017, when we were still starting Michael Bradley, Josie Altidore, Jacob Lovitz was coming off the bench. He was good then. We've grown past Jordan Morris, and it's time to admit it. Listen, just because somebody was good in the past doesn't mean they're going to be good for us forever, okay? Reggie Cannon, he shouldn't have come on. Sergiño Dest was having a great game. He didn't really look tired. I feel like Reggie Cannon is one of the more over-hated players on this team. Him and Mark McKenzie catch too much flack. McKenzie, he shouldn't be on this roster, but he's still a talented player. Reggie Cannon, I had him on my roster. I think he should be here, especially considering DeAndre Edlin just got released. So, he's a talented player, but there was no reason to bring him on. And lastly, Paul Arriola. If you would have told me earlier today, I was saying, man, I wish I was watching Tyler Boyd. I would have thought I was thinking about the football game, but Jesus. He almost hurt himself doing a bicycle kick. That's it. He might have hurt himself. I don't know. Why would we bring him on? He offers nothing. And I mean, he offers nothing. At this level, he is not a good player. And I mentioned all those guys before. Guys who are better than him. Even in the MLS, has he ever been good? Seriously, has anybody ever been impressed by, a Paul Arriola performance? Because, back when we were having friendlies at the start of 2021, I thought Chris Muller was better. Back when we used to play in those Gold Cups, I didn't think there was a difference between him and Corey Beard. Like, what does he... He's a defensive winger. Yeah, you don't sub on a defensive winger, ever. When's the last time a team employed a defensive winger? 2010, stopping prime Messi? Like, I don't know. He's not somebody who should ever be played. He shouldn't play again. He shouldn't have ever played again after we failed to qualify for the last World Cup. Hopefully we learn our lesson, and yeah. On the managerial side of things, Greg Berhalter was outcoached again, is what it is. Like, John Hardman set up Canada to do very well, and, you know, I'm criticizing Jedi Robinson, but, like, if John Hardman had him, I feel like he'd be a lot better. Because I look at Adekube, I don't think he's better than Anthony Robinson, but he plays better than him in this national team setup. So it's like, maybe we should be trying to get the best out of our players, you know? Maybe we should try to put them in a position where they can succeed and not tell I know he likes to go by Jedi, sorry. Not tell Robinson to put in a bunch of crosses when he's proven he can't do it. Like, you know, maybe we change the system because the system doesn't work. Like, think about it this way. He employs the same system that he did when he was an MLS manager. Because of that, Gyasi Zardes isn't going to look any better than he does in the MLS. Think about it. We already saw him at his peak because we're not going to play him in a different way to get something better out of him. And I feel like that's it with a lot of these players. They're playing in a system that doesn't get the best out of them. Like, I don't feel like our 8 should be dropping so deep. I don't feel like our wingers should be so tucked in all the time. Let Pulisic dribble at somebody from out wide. Man, let our midfielders take guys on. And Jesus, give Luca de la Torre a chance. Because he looks good every single time he plays for us. Like, I don't get why we don't give him a shot. Because he's a very good player. Man, really disappointing game. Canada, they played great. Even though they were missing Alphonso Davies, even though they were missing Eustáquio, they looked very good. And, man, why do their MLS players look so much better than ours? Like, Mark Anthony Kaye, he was playing very well. Alistair Johnson, he looked like he was in mid-season form. Miles Robinson didn't look like that. Matt Turner certainly didn't look like that. Gyasi Zardes, he didn't look good. Like, I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, really poor performance today, and yeah, lack of depth really hurt us. The roster we put together, not good enough. I think Paramount Plus has the best coverage. Fortunately, the stream cut out for me around the 70th minute, so missed a little bit of the game, but I like their group. Their commentary's a lot better, and they actually care about it on like ESPN, and they don't have terrible analysts like Fox Sports, so it's a little bit of a positive there, but yeah, really poor performance, hoping for a lot better. I'm really worried about the Honduras game. We should be able to beat them, but Minnesota's going to be freezing, and weather's an equalizer. I think we saw that today. Guys like Yunus Musah, I feel like he doesn't lose the ball that much if we're playing in like a standard field. So if we have another poor performance, or if we give another start to someone like Zardes or put in Roldan or Leggett, if we get another draw and Panama keeps picking up points, it could get dangerous. I don't think it will, but it's a non-0% chance of happening. But yeah, that's all I've talked about right now. Really good performance by Canada. A couple of positive performances by American players, but yeah, overall poor and need to raise our standard. That's all I've talked about right now. See you.